Welcome everyone to another episode in the IPL Back Home series. Joining me today are the same usual suspects: Vishal, Vignesh, Amog, and Anirudh. Today's team is Delhi Capitals. They are a team that is constantly fighting to win the title, and according to Akash Chopra and tons of Delhi fans, this is the year. This is the year that they are going to break Mumbai Indians streak and pull pull off something that they haven't so far. Anyway, gentlemen, let's start off with discussing in general the biggest change that they have so far. Shreyas Iyer out of the tournament, a new captain in Rishabh Pant. Amog, your thoughts on Rishabh Pant and how excited you are to see him both play and captain the side?
Yeah, I think this is a very, very refreshing change. Um, but, he had it in him. Whether captaincy or not, was a question mark. But I think somewhere it was Ricky Ponting, I'm sure, who made that call, who would have sensed that there is something in this guy who can lead the team now. He's led India to, championship tournament for the test. It is completely, one-man heroic efforts. That is the reason why we have made it to the finals. So they must have sensed that there is definitely, a spark in him, which should be used to get the Delhi Capitals to the finals once again.
Yeah, for sure. If Ricky Ponting has chosen someone as captain, I'm sure there is more than just spark in his eyes, and there is definitely a fire burning there to get the team home. Uh, Ani, looking at Delhi's power packed batting unit, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Delhi has the good core Indian batting lineup. I think that is what makes them stand apart from others. Yes, we don't have Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer scoring 519 runs last year. So someone who played a big role for their side. So yes, he's not there, but we have Dhawan. So Dhawan was in red hot form, scoring 600 plus runs with 144 strike rate. I mean, everyone had kind of pushed off Dhawan, saying it's kind of his end of his IPL career and all. So he scored two big daddy hundreds, and I think he plays that big role there at the top. And we have Prithvi Shaw coming with tons of runs in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, 800 plus
Yeah.
runs there. So if they get the opening right, we Prithvi Shaw was very average last year. So if these two fire, I think and they have a Ajinkya Rahane plays the anchoring role. I don't know if Steve Smith would be like. I don't want to start with him, but because like you cannot have two anchors then, Rahane and Smith. Uh, so I would play Shimran Hitmayer there, and then we have Rishabh Pant, Marcus Stoinis. So you can flexible change that order accordingly to the situation of the game. So I think they have a good batting lineup there.
Okay, that is quite a comprehensive look over the entire team. Um, yeah, let's. There are still a few points I would like to dive a bit deeper. Um, there are a few names that were casually thrown around, and I think it's important we discuss it in full depth. Vishal, Ajinkya Rahane, what a tournament this could be for him. Your thoughts on how vital he is for this outlook of DC this year?
Yes, he's going to be a vital player for DC. Didn't have the greatest of tournaments last year, but this year could be different. With Shreyas Iyer not being there, I see him playing most of the games, and he could be the glue to this Delhi team. If you see, you have Shikhar Dhawan on the top, and Prithvi Shaw as well, and if you have Rahane just rotating at the strike and doing the batting the way he does, everyone else around him can express themselves, and yeah, he could play a vital role in the DC batting lineup this year.
Mm-hmm. And Yeah, let's hope that he comes of color. I just love seeing him play. He's an amazing person, and I just like his worldview in general. Um, Vignesh, there's equally a critical person down the order. Apart from Hetmea, I would say it is Stoinis that did the damage last year, especially. How vital will his late innings blows be again for DC? Do they have an
I think
alternative?
I think so. He'll be critical. I think so. The only alternative for Marcus Stoinis would be Chris Wokes. I don't think so. At least from my uh, understanding of the team, they don't have anyone who can do a good enough job, or anyone better than Marcus Stoinis in the team to fill the boots if he misses out. So for me, Marcus Stoinis is a key in that slot. To provide a good transition between the batsmen and the bowlers in the team. So I think so. His presence is critical to allow for big totals to be placed or chased by this Delhi team.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One final question regarding batting, and this is no one other than Pant. Is not just his charisma and the talisman, but if you look at the outlook last season, he actually had an injury and he was out. And this year, if he's out, there is no Indian wicket keepers who can replace him. Any
Not true.
okay,
Not true. So there's a keeper, Vishnu Vinod. He's a
okay.
he's a wicket keeper for Kerala. So they have a backup keeper if Rishabh Pant actually is injured,
Mm-hmm. All
and
right.
so
Okay.
and he's got a good T20 record as well. So I think so they've got maybe not someone as explosive as Rishabh Pant, but they do have someone to sort of cover for him.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Vignesh. Anyway, any your thoughts in general on how vital Rishabh Pant, not just the captain, but Rishabh Pant, the keeper, and Rishabh Pant, the batsman, is for DC?
Uh, uh, I hope there's not a scenario where he'll have to be replaced on some injury grounds. No, because Rishabh Pant, I think if he is not there, so the backbone of the side is gone now. With Shreyas Iyer not being there, Rishabh Pant has a huge responsibility on his shoulders, and he will have to play the big finishing role. I want him to score more runs, not just the 30s, 20s, 30s there. So he has to get big 50s, 60s. And that whole charisma around Rishabh Pant. So he can just take the game away from the opposition. So yeah, it's kind of everything surrounds around him, and he and Stoinis. So I want to mention these two players will carry that big burden of uh, finishing the lane for DC.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Might be
Yeah.
might be maybe to add as well. I think so. Rishabh Pant has earned that aura around him after his heroics in England as against the Indian team and in Australia. That I think so. Wherever he goes in India, he's going to have fan following. So like
Yeah.
Dhoni and Virat have across India, now Rishabh Pant is going to be the next icon. So wherever he goes, there's it's home. It's like home ground for him.
His
We would
box
want
office.
to see that reverse scoop shot and all such things.
Exactly. I'm sure there are going to be quite a few antics from him. Let's move on to the bowling department. Initially, South African bowlers will not be available, most likely as for the first two games at the max. Amog, in that scenario, how do you hope that DC fill the void of Nortje and Rabada?
It's next to impossible. Um, those two matches, they have to just pray that they score or they outscore the oppositions, because those two players are just like how important batsmen are. These two bowlers, their 8 overs, really revolves around these 8 overs. Uh, just the fact that they bowl a little faster than the rest of the squad members itself is a reason why they're not replaceable. And especially going with the current form, Norche seems to be bowling even better than Rabada right now. So it's going to be really tough. But the good thing is only 2 matches is what they're going to be missing. So it's okay. I mean, it'll be a learning for the other bowlers who will be bowling on those 2 matches.
They will be back, I'm sure, to the Chennai leg of their tours for sure, if not for the Mumbai leg. Vishal, the next question is there is a fellow YouTuber there in that team. And I think he has a statement to make himself. He's one of the most thought invoking cricketer out there in Ravichandran Ashwin. And we are big fans of him and his YouTube channel. He constantly is talking about the amazing mental space that he's in. He's a vital cog as well in the spin department. Your thoughts on how important Ravichandran Ashwin would be?
Well, his records speak for themselves, right? He's been one of the best IPL off spinners. If you look at the stats, his economy rate, the number of wickets, what he's done over the years. Well, he's an amazing bowler. Can bowl in the power play, can bowl in the middle overs. So and he's in a purple patch. The way he bowled in Australia, and the way he bowled against England back home. He's in tremendous form, and hopefully he continues this into the IPL because he's going to be a key player for them, and especially in the power play and part of the leadership group as well in the bowling department. So let's see how he performs. Hopefully he does really well this season and proves a point that he's still a good player in the white ball game as well.
Okay. Let's hope that he does amazing and he makes a claim to come back to the Indian jersey in the white ball team as well. And yeah, I'm very curious to see how Ravichandran Ashwin plays and what bag of tricks he'll bring out for each and every one of his matches. Vignesh, let me paint a scenario for you. Ahmedabad, Ashwin and Akshar Patel bowling. Just the ball is different. What kind of what do you expect this time with the spin duo that?
Oh, I think so. They're going to spin a web. You forgot one more, Amit Mishra.
Yeah.
So if they three play, so that's 12 overs. Might be with less than 5 per over from each of those, and might be sharing 2 wickets each. I think so. The game is over within those 12 overs.
Yeah.
So I think so. They've got an amazing spin. Not quartet, but spin trio. Amit Mishra, Akshar Patel, and Ravichandran Ashwin. So they've got 2 experienced spinners with 1 young gun. And then, if given the opportunity, I think so they can just take away the match from the opposition. So I think so they've got a dangerous bowling lineup for any condition, whether it is a seaming, whether it's a flat track or a turning track. They've got the bowlers to push teams out of the game. So yeah.
They're one of the most balanced sides out there, and I'm very excited to see how Delhi will do it. But who will do it? I'm going to ask that to you guys. So tell me, gentlemen, who are your X factors? Amog, you can begin.
I'm sorry, was a question asked to me?
Yeah, I asked who is your X factor for Delhi?
Okay, so I have 2 X factors. One with the batting department. It is, since Shreyas Iyer is missing, there's a lot of load which will be on the captain. So Rishabh Pant will have to, if not score the kind of runs that Shreyas Iyer did the last year, he will have to, somebody who mentioned on this panel that he shouldn't just score those 20s and 30s and stay till the end and finish the matches, which is a very important role for Rishabh Pant. And bowling department, 4 overs out of 20 overs, if you see, is kind of less, but that 4 overs actually sometimes defines the entire 20 overs, and that will be done by Ashwin. So Ashwin will be my other X factor.
Okay, Vishal, your X factor?
For me, this season it's going to be Prithvi Shaw, just because he's coming from an outstanding Vijay Hazare trophy that he had. scored volumes of runs. And if he could provide stability at the top along with Shikhar Dhawan, which they didn't have last season to a certain extent, and still they made the finals. If they could provide the stability this year, then it would free up Rishabh Pant and Stoinis and even Ajinkya Rahane and Hetmeyer to follow, and that would approve danger signs for the bowlers who are bowling at them. So Prithvi Shaw is going to be my X Factor player for Delhi Capitals this year.
Okay. Prithvi Shaw, we heard already Rishabh Pant and yeah, Ashwin. So, Ani, your X Factor?
I will pick actually two players. One is Ishan Sharma. So he would be leading the Indian pace attack there. So with Rabada, Nokia, like two foreign spots settled there, and with Akshar, Ashwin, or an Amit Mishra. So like you have the lone kind of yes, there's a Umesh Yadav, but he might not feature. So I think Ishan Sharma last year he didn't get much of the chances due to his injury. So he will play that crucial start in the initial, so that the first power play overs he can bowl there. So I'll pick him, and the other person would be Stoinis. So Stoinis, with his good finishing abilities, and he can pitch in with a couple of overs as well. So I'd pick these two players.
All right. Vignesh, your X Factor?
For me, it's going to be Ajinkya Rahane. I think so. It's very important to have that anchor who stays in the middle and keeps the run sticking. And not, because I think so the Delhi Capitals top order has a lot of hard hitters who can, and also long handle players who can hit the ball sweetly. But the problem is they don't have someone who can carry the innings and help these big hitters excel in their sort of task. And therefore, I feel Ajinkya Rahane would be a key player this season to help Delhi Capitals actually achieve those big totals and then take them to the finals. So for me, it's going to be Ajinkya Rahane's. And it's also for me a must-win or a must-perform season for him, because he has been struggling a little bit in the last couple of seasons. So for him to actually make it to the next season, it becomes very important for him to show his worth, which he definitely has in this season.
That's a good point. Coming the big election, sorry, the election, big auction. There is an election, although there is a big auction next year. I think it's important. Yeah, any your point?
Yeah, Akshar, before you close, actually, I have one question for Amog. So he's I think, one of the greatest fans of Steve Smith. So I just want to ask him, will he play Steve Smith in the 11?
Yeah, he will play the first two matches at least, because of two pace guns not featuring. So there is two spots which are open, so they can definitely fill in one batsman in there with Steve Smith. Give him those two chances and see if he's putting back to ball. If he's edging them back onto the stump, then there is no need once the South Africans are back.
Okay, but that's a interesting way to do. What if he plays well?
Then they'll have to look at there'll be only Stoinis and Smith in the batting
So
department.
then there'll be no Hetmeyer.
Yeah, there'll be no Hetmeyer, so you don't need Hetmeyer then. You have Smith.
I think so. Ponting has got a lot of tough decisions to make.
Yeah, there's some good decisions and a good headache, as they call it, with options of plenty. Thank you, gentlemen, for your valid inputs and corrections to my points as well. This is all that we have for Delhi Capitals. Stay tuned. We will have more teams following, and of course, the entire IPL to look forward to. As again, we wish you farewell, and you will catch us once again in the IPL Back Home series. Bye.